Hi everyone, it's Andy LaCivita, founder of Mile Walk and the Mile Walk Academy and award-winning author of The Hiring Prophecies, here with this week's episode of Tips for Work and Life. We are going to talk about the biggest mistake that people make when they're negotiating their salary. And actually, it's not just a mistake, it's a whole collection of mistakes that they make all the way throughout the interviewing process. So I've noticed, probably 'tis the season, it's toward the end of the year now, and people are doing some year-end planning, they're doing some forecasting for next year, they're looking at their jobs, they're looking at their happiness, they're looking at what they want to accomplish in their goals for the upcoming year. All of that contributes, not to mention on the employer side, we're entering into a new year, new inspirations, new budgets, lots of hiring, so it's a mobile time of year. And I've noticed, as we watch what people are commenting on and reading and the downloads and the distributions and the shares of a lot of the things that I've posted a little bit earlier, a couple of months ago or within the last few months, around cover letters, around salary negotiation guides, a lot of the very, very critical and important exercises that go along with changing jobs, well, people are grabbing them like crazy. So I wanted to spend a little more time this week and give you something of a greatest hits, but really maybe reference some of those things that I did earlier, but also hammer home some points that I continually see people making mistakes. And you probably noticed from the title of the article or the post that this is about your salary negotiation starting with your cover letter and not the job offer. And that is really true. And that is my fancy way of saying this expression I know you've heard, but you really need to begin with the end in mind. And what most people do is they try to do a great job through the interviewing process, they get the job offer, and now it's negotiation time, and nothing could be further from the truth. So we're going to talk about two really big things in aggregate that I want, just the mindset that I want you to have so that you're well positioning yourself, because there's some very tactical ways to create cover letters. I'm going to give you 3 of those today. I'm also going to give you a 1-page guide to negotiate your salary and point you to some more detail where you can learn more about the specifics at the end of the process. But really, you will make your life a lot easier if you position yourself well at the beginning. So think about this. When you're going in for, or you're trying to get an interview, or you're going in for an interview, imagine if instead of just trying to do a good job in the interviewing process, you really thought, or you really understood that every letter you sent, every breath you took, every keystroke you made in an email, every thank you note that you wrote to any of the interviewers, the smile on your face, your posture, the things you did, the things you didn't do, all the way throughout the process, that's negotiating your salary. Every single step you take, the attitude you display, the posturing, your physical presence or not, your attitude, everything, every breath you take contributes to your ability to negotiate your salary. So what I don't understand is people don't really want to take the time to be thoughtful at every step of the way. When they get to the end, their leverage is a lot lower or less than if they otherwise would have continued to build up their bank of credibility, intrigue in hiring you, everything, the likability, just all of your interaction with the people that you encounter and every step you take. So I really want you to remember that. That's number 1. Number 2, this is really a remark I want to make to a lot of those passive candidates. You know who you are. You're the tire kickers out there. You know, something flew on your desk, or your phone rang, or you got an email or a text from a friend or a recruiter or a company that wants you to come in because they liked your profile, they got your name from so-and-so. You weren't really looking. All of a sudden now you find yourself taking the steps towards going into the interviewing process. And a lot of times, and I cannot believe this, your attitude is, well, I didn't ask for this, so, I'll hear you out, but, I'm really not looking. And I have to tell you, when you do that, it really does not matter how you got to that first interview or that first communication that you were going to have with a potential employer. Your attitude should be up here. And if you're not even sure whether or not you're interested in the job, the role, or the company, be interested in the opportunity to explore it. Because when you come in with this laissez-faire attitude, with your figurative feet on the desk, sitting there and giving me the, oh, tell me why I should come work here, you're starting in a hole. And then by the time you figure out, hey, I really think I might want to work here, this sounds great, you're already behind. So I really, really want everybody to think about every step along the way. No matter what angle you get into this process from, where you start, whether you were begging for a job or begging for an interview or calling around town, or whether something fell in your lap, it makes no difference. From the moment you start your communication with the prospective employer until the time you finish it, that's negotiating your salary. Now, in this post, in the notes at the bottom, I've got links to 3 different cover letters that you can use. I've also got a 1-page guide to negotiating your salary. I've got a video on that. You can get all the detail you want. Take a look at some of those. It's a little 4-pack from me. And I want to wish you a lot of luck. I know there's a lot of activity going on right now. We're seeing it on our end with our clients, the hiring companies who are recruiting. I'm getting a lot of calls from relationships that I've established over the years, people wanting to test the market. So if you're one of those people out there, you want to grab these things, please do it. But keep in mind that every step you take sells you in some way, shape, or form. If you like this episode, please share it, whether you're watching it on my blog or on YouTube or on iTunes, any which way, please share it. And definitely grab the downloads, and we'll see you next week.